So since I quit my 9 to 5, a bunch of people have asked if I do freelance and wanting me to work and do stuff for them. The quick answer is no, I don't do freelance anymore because I want to focus on content creation and being a content creator. But I wanted to also share in this video 5 reasons that I don't like freelance and don't do it anymore, and I wanted to give you that in this video. So the first thing that I don't like about freelance is that at the very beginning is finding a new gig or client to get money from. And usually when I was desperate, I would reach out to family and friends, and usually somebody would need some work, and that's how I would get it. A lot of other times I would try and post online and try and see if anybody need any help or graphic design help. But it's really hard, at least for me it was, to find a client, someone to get money and paid for. And now I think there's more opportunity, but there's also more competition. So you can post yourself on Fiverr and things like that, and Upwork and things, but a lot of other people are doing that too. So just finding the right client and then having the right client fit. Like there's also some things that people say, I need help with this, and when I look at it, I'm like, I really don't want to do that. That's not my skill set. I don't want to, draw that thing. It would take me forever. I'm not skilled in that particular thing. So just finding the right gig or right client was really hard for freelance, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do freelance anymore. With print on demand, I can just design what I want to design what I think people want to buy, and just put it up for sale. For YouTube, as a content creator with YouTube, same thing. I just create videos that I think people want to watch, like this one right here, and put it up. And if people like it, great. If people don't, then I get feedback and make something else that people do want to do or watch. So I think for this one, just having to search and take time and find just the right client, the right gig to even start working on freelance is a big no for me, and one of the big reasons why I stay away from freelance as a whole. So the second thing that I don't like about freelance is what I'm calling the price haggle. And you probably know what this means is you kind of debate on what the price is going to be. So once you found the client, now you got to kind of figure out what's the price going to be, right? So a lot of times that's put in the Fiverr, like you say what it is. And a lot of times you have to you don't know what the project is. So you're going to have to learn what the project is, kind of base off of that. If it's something that you've never done before, you're going to have to build in some time for learning or finding things or things like that. And then you may want to bid higher because you know they're going to haggle and go down, or you may want to bid higher because you actually don't want to do it, but if they did pay you this much, then you would do it, and so on. So this whole thing about finding the right price and finding the right time. Do you bid by hour or do you bid by project? I usually bid by project, but some people bid by hour, and then what happens if you go over that, and so on. So this always made it hard for me to figure out if that I'm paying the right amount, and I just don't like doing that. Just figuring out, like, it's not something set in stone, and you never know what you're gonna get as far as a specific price, right? So for print on demand, the reason why I love doing print on demand is you know exactly what price you're gonna get. It's kind of almost set for most print on demand stores. If not, you kind of know like the price of what a t-shirt's gonna be. So on Amazon, I know it's gonna be selling for $19.99 or $20.99. So you kind of have the same thing with YouTube. You kind of get paid by AdSense, but if you want to do maybe a sponsored video, there are places online and websites that can help you look up subscriber count and views. One that I use is socialbluebook.com. So this is one of many where you can go on and look at your view count and subscriber count, and it kind of tells you that you should be getting paid this much per video or this much per shorts, and so on. So you can kind of figure out that way. And there is a slight haggle maybe for sponsors, but not as big as I experience with freelance. So because of that, it's something that I stay away from freelance. Is I just don't like doing that whole price thing every time I get a new client. So reason number 3 is what I'm calling the hard deadlines. Now, of course, you have to have deadlines when you're working with a client. You have to give whatever time you think it's going to take, and that in itself is kind of a thing in itself, right? You have to figure out, like, how long am I going to take to build this? I can do this and kind of figure it out, especially if it's something that you're not exactly sure how long it's going to take. Most times with graphic design work, you kind of guess how long it's going to take, and there may be this back and forth and all of this, but you're going to have some deadlines, right? You have to say, in 2 weeks, I'm going to finish this in 2 weeks. And just having a deadline, that kind of stressed me out. It's like I only have 2 weeks to do this, and what if something comes up, and so on and so on. So of course the deadlines are with any project, but with print on demand, actually there is no real hard deadline. So for me, if I want to put up a t-shirt today, I can, but no one's actually telling me that I need to do a t-shirt right now, right? Unless it's like a holiday, and of course I have to build it before the holiday, but I'm usually building things before a holiday 2 months before, so I'm giving myself enough time. Whereas the freelance version, I would have to do something within 2 weeks, or sometimes within a week's time if the client really wants it to get done quickly. So I think doing content creation and print on demand is less stressful in that way, because the deadlines are almost non-existent, right? I can post a YouTube video anytime I want. I can post a graphic or t-shirt design anytime I want. And so I have the flexibility and time freedom to do anything, either today or tomorrow or whenever. I make my own deadlines and not having a deadline set by a client. So for that reason, I think print on demand and content creation, at least in this case, about the deadlines, is a lot better for me. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about that I don't like is what I call the unlimited changes. Now, it's not really unlimited changes. There are just a bunch that goes back and forth, but it feels like I'm giving them unlimited changes, right? When I was doing freelance, and maybe this is me, but I would give them the opportunity to make changes back and forth until it was right and something that they really liked, so that they would feel good about paying me the right amount, and so on. So it always felt like I would take my best shot and create something, and then I would send it to the client, and the client would send back with some feedback, make some changes again, send it again, get more feedback, send it back, and it would go back at least 3 or 4 times, and this would really cut into my time, that deadline thing again, and it would feel like I was getting ripped off at some point, because I feel like I actually did the work, but now I'm doing more work for the same amount of money. And so maybe I should have built some money into that, like this 2 changes are free, but the 3rd change is going to cost you, that kind of thing. I know people do that sometimes, but I just didn't like the whole back and forth, and it just got to me, because I was like, I felt like at the moment, am I gonna get this right? How many times do I have to fix this? This change doesn't really matter. Is this really that big of a deal? That kind of thing. So with print on demand, because I'm doing it for myself, I'm in charge of the changes. No one's getting a t-shirt, at least unless you're doing personalized t-shirts, but no one's print on demand is saying, I need to make this better. You kind of do what your best shot is, and you put it out there. If it doesn't sell, then you might want to make some changes and do something else, but it's up to you to know when it's done and when you want to post it up there. And so I like that freedom so much better. Same thing with YouTube. No one's actually telling you to do the cut here and the fade here and add this B-roll, but you learn as you go, and you want to make it better and better, and it's on you to make the best thing possible, put it out, learn from it, and come back. So there's no unlimited changes unless you're a perfectionist, but I think the best thing is for print on demand is to do you the best shot you can, put it out there and learn from it, and then do something better next time. So that works a lot better for me. I'm not pressured to keep making changes, and I don't feel like I'm wasting my time by making these minute changes that I don't think really matter. So the last reason I don't do freelance is there is no reoccurring income, at least unless you have one when you have a client that they're gonna pay you monthly and over again. But even then, that kind of ends. What I like about print on demand is that you make something once, and that it can pay you over and over again, and you make another thing and that can pay. We talked about this in one of my other videos about having assets that just stack upon each other, and that's what I like about print on demand and YouTube and content creation, is that you're making content, making assets that can pay you over and over again. Whereas in freelance, usually what you're doing is you're making something for a project or for the client one time, you get paid for that. And that is a big benefit actually for freelance, is most people do freelance because they want to get paid right away, that one time, that big chunk, and not have to wait. Whereas print on demand and content creation, you actually have that long wait before those assets start building up and building up. So pros and cons there, but the reason why I like print on demand and content creation is because over time I'm actually going to make more, and I don't have to use my time again over and over to just try and make that $1,000 each time, if that makes sense. So I'm at a point now with content creation that it makes more sense for me to keep making more assets to get to have those assets stack up instead of using my time for freelance, because we only have 24 hours in the day, and if I use my time for freelance instead of print on demand and content creation, then that means I'm making less assets that could stack up in the future. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do freelance, is although it's great for people who are just starting out, because you can get paid usually really big at once, I really want to use my time to keep building more assets for content creation so that I'll get paid more and more in the future. So there you go. Those are my 5 reasons. And again, if you're going to get another client, the whole process starts over and over again. So those 5 reasons kind of repeat themselves over and over. And I know I'm kind of biased and I sound like a grumpy old man, but because I'm at this point with content creation, I want to continue to build it and build it and build it instead of stopping and using my time to do freelance. Now, freelance is great if you want that quick income, if you're looking for it and can find great clients to work with and so on. I'm not dissing on freelance. I'm just saying freelance right now at the point that I am as a content creator, I don't want to use my time for that. So hopefully this makes sense for you. Let me know in the comments what you think about freelance versus content creation. And if you want to see the video that I was talking about building assets, I'll put that video right here so you can watch that, so you can understand what I'm talking about when I do this curve of going up and up and up and adding more and more assets. Thanks again for watching. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.